My girl don't love me no more, man.
Don't say that, man.
Listen, Jason.
Mm.
It was my barber who made me get bitches.
Bumbuckler, the true thing still.
Ain't no more bitches gonna love me, man. Look at my hairline. Look at it.
Dog, how you feel say that, dog? Maybe they loved you for you. You ever thought about that?
Motherfucker, I'm fat. This is all I got going for me, man. This is all I got.
But girls love dad bods. So consider that, dog. I mean,
Yeah, this is not that bad, dog.
what is it?
No,
What that? I don't know.
What? No.
Yo, welcome to Wasted Wisdom.
The KFC, but no.
What is that KFC one?
But
That's funny. That's funny. Okay, that's funny. Yeah, that's funny. Alright. Yeah, welcome to Wasted Wisdom, episode 2. What we calling this episode? I don't know yet. You'll see it when you see it, right? So, we got some questions here this week.
yeah.
I don't want to answer any of them because they're too heavy and too deep. But, you know, duty calls. You guys pay us. I mean, you don't pay us at all, actually, but you will.
Wait,
I hope.
we're getting paid for this?
I'm going to speak it into being. Yes, we are getting paid for this.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm put on my getting paid voice.
You're so white now.
Yes.
Said that booty.
Right.
All right.
All right. I'm ready.
Hey, Jim. Had a good weekend? That sounds terrible. I'm going to listen back to that and cringe.
Cringe,
And
bro.
I'm not putting out this episode. All right. So, first question is from me. Thanks, man. How do I stop jealousy from forming over my partner's past crushes? So basically, my partner used to like people, but they're there with me now, but I still feel a way that they like those people. And I guess it stems from the fact that, maybe you'll see them and then want to be with them instead, which to me just sounds like you have low self-esteem in that way. Like you're not valuing yourself high enough.
What I like doing, Jason,
What?
is reversing the question to the person who has the issue. I like asking,
Yeah. Good point.
do you see anyone who you have a crush on other than your partner?
But
And be honest with yourself.
it's a great point.
Would you leave your partner to be with these people? Or do you trust that this is where you want to be? And do you trust your partner enough to realize that he wants to be here as well?
Or she.
Or she.
Or they. Them.
Them.
Yeah. It's a good point, though. Because, let's face it, people project. So, maybe you have that desire. So, you're just thinking to yourself, well, if I have that desire, they probably have this desire. So, I don't really want to lose them. Maybe I can control myself or whatever. So, it's a good point still.
Yeah, and have the discussion with your partner. Talk to them about it. We're all human beings. We all have attraction to other persons. He's not the only, or she or they or them are the only persons that you find attractive.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right. It's natural to like other people, or to be attracted to other people at the very least.
Right. The only issue that may arise is if there is some interaction or like forced interaction to put yourself into the space or in a space with these people, then that's where there might be a problem. There might be an issue.
Oh wait, you saw their previous crush and they have to interact with them on a regular basis, so now you're like, oh shit.
Right.
Like what is mean?
Or if like your partner has a crush on someone and is actively trying to be in the space with that person.
Oh, yeah. I get
And
what you
that's when
mean.
there's a problem. But if it's like, oh yeah, man, I saw this girl on IG and she's really cute, then the girl
Hmm.
is cute, and that's the end of that.
That's
You
a
know,
good point, though.
or not. You know, if she's not cute, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It's interesting. Like, I'm looking at this question again, and I'm like, how do I stop jealousy from forming over my partner's past crushes? Like, I'm trying to see if I've ever done this myself. And I don't know. Like, I guess in my mind, it was like, I guess the answer is no. Because if they're with me, I mean, they could have been with them, and they didn't,
Mhm.
right? But if they're with me, they got with me, that says something.
Mhm.
So that's pretty cool. Number one. Number two, if I ask them, like you said, like that probably should be like the very first thing, right? You'd say,
Communication.
right,
Yeah.
just be vulnerable and be like, yo, honestly, I feel, slightly too very insecure about your past crushes, and if like any lingering feelings are there, or if, I would be replaced or whatever.
They be like, Ramona, I don't like the fact that you talk to Jim and
Oh, Jim's back.
and,
Okay.
and you're just interested in Jim, but it makes me feel insecure. It makes me feel jealous. And it makes me feel like you want him more than you want me.
Yeah,
And, just be honest, be open, communicate.
that's a good point.
You know, it makes no sense to be with someone if you can't trust them, and if you can't trust them with your own emotions.
Exactly. Yeah, good point. Great point. Great point. I still feel like, I don't know, is there something we didn't tap into on this question? Probably not. I feel like we kind of
Yeah, I
kind
think
of
that's
nailed
it.
it.
It's really communication and acknowledging the jealousy, and you'll be surprised to know that the more you acknowledge certain things that you're having problems with, and the more you put it out there, is the weaker it becomes.
Yeah. All right, I'm good with that. All right. Thanks for that question. Okay, so the next question is like really personal. I don't know if you want to go into that one. It's the all right. Well, you read it.
What does your heart say, but you can't do it?
Yeah, that's too deep for the intro. So.
What does my heart say, but I can't do it? Well, that's a loaded question. And I can look on it from so many different perspectives.
That's so true. Cause I'm like, what does my heart say? But I can't do it. I mean, if the answer was nothing, that'd be great. That means I'm living my truth.
I think we all have things that our hearts say, but we just can't do it. Like even me, like me and the music thing.
Okay, I'm glad you said it.
Yeah. Yeah, like within my heart of hearts, I would like to produce music. I'd like to put my stuff out there, but it's almost like I feel crippled by fear. And I think that's really I think that's really the main blockage to you not being able to do what your heart says.
Yeah.
Fear.
Because the mind is like,
regardless of the position you're in,
Mm-hmm.
Physically or mentally, I think it's fear.
I'd like to be vulnerable right now, but I have to like tune in first because like I'm not quite there. I'm a little under the influence right now. The show is called Wasted Wisdom after all. So.
Indeed.
Yeah. So it's a little harder to access my emotions sometimes, especially for a question like this. But I guess for me, yeah, no, you know what it is? Yeah, man, I'd had it right from the start. For me, my heart is just saying Bill. I hate when it says that.
Who's Bill? I'm joking. I'm sorry.
Build. Yeah, dude. So
I'm saying relax.
Yeah, it's just saying relax, dog, and just chill. And I'm trying to do that, but it's just like last week's podcast where when we're watching Midnight Kingdom. And the bird was telling the dude, like, yo, you're not going to get out of this?
Midnight Gospel.
What did I say?
Midnight Kingdom.
Wow.
That's another good title still.
Dog,
Yeah.
don't do what I did.
Copyright.
I would say, like...
Oh, yeah, Skater Girl.
They say see you later, girl.
Uh,
Yeah, so our recording studio is on the street. Because that's weird, but it's just love us, alright? But yeah, when I was watching Midnight Gospel, that's pretty much what it boiled down to. It was just kind of like...
she
I don't
fell.
know. She did?
Oops, yeah.
Oh, damn, she fell for real.
Gosh.
Well, yeah. My train of thought. Yeah, got
I'm
it.
sorry.
No. Yeah, no, I got it. Yeah, basically it was just, yo, you need to kind of just relax, just build. Because the whole effort thing doesn't work, right? It's just like that thing I sent you from IG, dog, and you had it as your status, what day?
Which one?
The thing about, like, yo, those who put their trust in the universe have way more power than those who just, like, try to do it on their own power. Like,
Yeah.
dog, that's such a limited source, though. Why would you even want to use that when you have all that friggin' creation to bolster what you're doing? But instead, you want to just rely on yourself. And for me, I feel like the reason anyone would just rely on their own power is because they fear, again, coming back to fear, that life isn't going to give you that thing.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, but why? Why? Investigate that shit. I should write that down. Yeah, write that down for me, please. Like, just like make a note. Yo, just investigate. Why do you think life wouldn't give you this? Like, do you feel like, oh, you did something wrong in the past, and so you're like, oh, I don't deserve this because as a fuckery person over here, or whatever? Or is it like, well, you know, only certain people have that, and I'm not one of those type of people, so I can't get that. And I'm like, what kind of people is that? And why is it that you can't be that person? And why do you think you're not that person if you're already going in tandem with these people? So to me, it's just like, yo, what's the my heart can't do? Or was it like I can't do that my heart's telling me to do? Just relax. Take your time. Let life just give you the stuff. And to be honest, like, I've never really, anything I've ever gotten through my own effort blew up in my face anyway. So it's kind of like, what's the point? You might as well just let it go. Just chill out.
True.
All right, so we good with that question?
Yeah, I'm good with that.
All right, cool. Thank you, Samim. All right. No, that's too deep. I don't want that yet. That's just way too. No. Okay, yeah, I'll do this one. All right. Is it healthy to desire everyone loves and respects me? What is the root cause of this desire? And if it's not healthy, how can one overcome it?
Can you repeat?
Sure. Actually, I'll break it down into two parts because there's really two parts.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So first off, is it healthy to desire that everyone loves and respects you? What is the root cause of it, if there is one? Well, there must be. But yeah.
Is it healthy?
Is it healthy to desire that everyone loves you? I would say no. For the simple fact that, like, if you stand for something, you're naturally going to have people who will go against you. So, for example, right, if you're like a Christian, you're not going to necessarily go par with a Satanist. You're not necessarily going to go par with someone who is like, yo, I don't believe Jesus Christ is Lord and Savior. I don't believe Jesus Christ exists. You might be friendly with them, you might be cordial or whatever, but that person doesn't necessarily share your values, and that person might even hate you and ridicule you for having that belief. But if you have that belief, then, well, what does it matter?
Well, I'm taking the question to a different perspective. I don't think there's anything wrong with desiring that everybody loves you. or desiring everyone to be on your side.
Okay.
I don't think there's a problem with desiring it. Where the problem arises is if you're trying to change yourself or change others or try to force people to be on your side.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? You have to acknowledge or be aware that not everyone is going to be on your side. You can want that,
Mm-hmm.
but it's also up to you to know that that's not possible. Not everyone is going to like you.
Right.
Not everyone is going to love you or be on your side.
But that's kind of one thing I was about to go into, because I was thinking to myself, like, is it, even if you have the desire, maybe that is bad and not so bad, but like it's definitely a desire that can never really be accomplished.
Mm-hmm.
Right? That's something that you're probably never going to get. Well, you're never going to get it. Like, it's just not, it's not possible, right? We're doing this podcast, and not everybody's going to like it.
Yeah.
And we know that.
Yeah, and everybody going to be like, oh, yeah. Some people going to be like, oh, why does this guy sound so weird? Well,
Who, me?
Me.
Oh, oh, so it's this week. Yeah. This week you're the one that's self-conscious.
Yeah, but I can't expect that everybody going to love the podcast or love our content.
Exactly.
I can desire that though, but consciously I know that that's not possible.
Yeah.
And the root cause of all of this, which is what I love saying and telling people to do, check your childhood.
Yeah. Excellent point.
Check your childhood. Go back into the past. Check how you were as a child. And you'll definitely find the answer to that question. As a child, were you subjected to always trying to reach out to your parents for validation?
Yeah.
Or was it freely given to you?
Mm-hmm.
And we all interpret things in our childhood a little bit different based upon our temperament or genetic makeup.
Mm-hmm.
So some persons, if they have been neglected, they might withdraw and have the view that the world is against them.
Mm-hmm.
Or they might do the opposite, like literally try and embrace the world and try to fit in the mold of the world so they can be accepted. You get what I'm saying?
They're not being authentic.
Yeah. So it's the key is to find that balance. So go back into your childhood, literally think about times when you wanted to be accepted. Think about times when you weren't. Think about times when you did a little painting or drawing, or you did something cool, or something that you thought was cool, and you brought it to your parents, and they were like, yeah, okay, that was fine, or yeah, I don't like that, or they just didn't respond.
Yeah, like they put it on the fridge, and then like some corned beef spilled upon it, and then they even said sorry, and then like 10 years passed and it was still there, like, and they didn't even pay attention to it. Right. This is not a real story. Don't pre me. Sorry, I was interrupting you. Go ahead.
Yeah, so just go back into your childhood, and then once you release that pain, you embrace it, sit with it and release it, then you can basically come to a point where you find the balance in your present.
Yeah.
Where you can realize that, okay, some will like my stuff, some won't.
Yeah.
And that's okay.
Yeah. For me personally, I just feel like, honestly, I still kind of stick to the whole, I don't think it's a healthy desire, because why would you really want that in the first place? So you're right to ask, like, what is the root of it? Because I agree with what you're saying. Like, the idea that I would want everyone on my side, I'm like, it seemed like a childhood fantasy, personally. It feels like something that the kid Jason would want. Yeah, I want everybody to be my friend and da-da-da-da-da. But like, dog, you know bloody well that like there's a fuck ton of people that you don't really rate and you don't really respect how them do them thing, right? If they had a desire that everyone appreciates them, I am living proof that I don't like how they do them thing. And some people look at me, they don't like how I did my thing, right? First time you meet me, you might find me very off-putting and to myself and maybe even rude. I've had people say that. So, and then they get to know me and then it's like, oh yeah, you're not quite like that, which is nice. But for the most part, it's like, yo, dude, you have to live in accordance to your values and not everyone's gonna drive with that. That's good. That means you stand for something, dog. Anybody who is loved by everybody, I'm sorry, I don't really think that that's a genuine person. I'm sorry.
And I tend to
find it hard to see that.
I agree with you on that one. Anyone who tells you that, oh yeah, man, everybody loves me and I'm nobody hates me, that 10 times out of 10 that person is just doing things to let people like them.
Yeah.
And not being true to themselves.
And they'll do it. They'll be a different person in this group, this group, this group, this group. But them can't ever put them all together because them could clash like vegans and meat eaters. So, did you watch that Jubilee video with the vegans and meat eaters?
No, I didn't watch that one yet.
Me neither. It's in my to watch. Might watch later. So but the second part.
It reminds me of Trump though.
Yeah, well, that's a good example.
Example is Donald Trump. Like, we sit here and we think this guy is the most hated guy, but people vote for him. People love that guy.
Yeah.
You understand? And he is not, as far as I know, he is not trying to be what he is not. He is literally just being authentically himself. You understand? And
I might annotate to that a little bit, but go ahead.
Yeah. and as you can see, there are persons who are for him and there are persons who are against him. And that's literally how you should live your life. Just be who you are, you know, without even trying to seek external validation. Validate yourself first.
Validate yourself first. Validate your own bumper clap parking. You have a stamp. But you're right. Oh, the second part of the question was, and if it's not healthy, how can one overcome this? We kind of touched on that. If it's not healthy, do some introspection. Think about your past. Think about your childhood. As Mark said, could be that you were one of those kids who was a people pleaser, and that is still carrying forward even into adulthood, where you want everyone to love you. When in reality, it's like, maybe you should love yourself. Maybe that's the thing that's missing. And you feel like if you feel like you need the whole world to say yes to you as a person, you have a problem. Yeah, I think you really have a problem. It's okay to stand up for something and to just do you. So I think you should just do that. So, yeah, thank you for your question. All right, you want to do one? Well, we have time, so yeah. Okay. Oh God, why do individuals tell you what you want to hear after it is known you are in love with them, just so they can reap the benefit of everything without actually committing to that person? I feel like I got too high onto this. I mean, am I? Yeah, kind of. I'm tripping. But I don't know, dog. I mean, I have to go read this again. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was about to say, you know, and again, awareness. We have to be aware that not everybody has our best interest at heart. And not everyone is going to be as selfless as you are, you know? You have to realize that some people are manipulative. And some people only care about what they can get and not what they can give. And so you might meet someone who you love and you care for, and you think, oh yeah, because I love and care for this person, they'll love and care for me too. It doesn't necessarily work that way, unfortunately. Sometimes people are only in certain situations to gain what they can gain and to basically self-sustain until it dies. And even when it's dying, they'll literally put out effort to let whatever they're trying to get stay there. So it's up to you to know who is trying to manipulate you versus who genuinely cares. And it's not, and I say it so easily, but it's not really something that is that easy to recognize in persons, especially when you think you're in love with them.
Actually, you know what? I'm having a problem interpreting this question right now. Can you give me an example of something like this? Not like real life. Just if you can make something up. Not trying to incriminate anybody on the internet. But let me reread this. Why do individuals tell you what you want to hear after it is known you are in love with them, just so they can reap the benefit of everything without actually committing to that person? Okay, I think I get the look of it now.
I
Yeah,
get
you're
it,
right.
man.
Yeah.
It's just classic manipulation.
Yeah. Yeah, you're on the ball today, dog. Like, honestly, I feel like I'm not here.
Well, it's wasted wisdom, you know. You said one is wasted and one is wisdom.
No, we both said they were both wisdom.
Well, we're both
and
wisdom,
wasted.
you know.
Because there's wisdom in the wasted. Dude, I don't know. I have nothing to add to what you just said. I think you nailed it. For me, I feel like anytime I've ever either witnessed this or been a part of this, whether the one who is complaining or the one that is being complained about, it's like, yeah, I mean, there's something to gain from it. Like, I could take my time and be vulnerable and thoughtful to you and what you want and how you feel. But honestly, if it's putting me at a disadvantage, especially emotionally, I may not want to do it because I'm like, nigga, I don't want to be that vulnerable. I don't want to really reveal all that stuff. Maybe I don't even want to get into your emotions because I don't know how to process all those things. I'm not trying to like defend the selfishness here. I'm just giving you the explanation as to why it may happen. But yeah, in terms of something like this, like they really do reap benefits when you kind of did all the emotional legwork.
Yeah.
And they're just like, oh, yeah, I agree. Thanks for saying that. I was just waiting on, nigga, some fuck shit that I don't read that shit. But yeah, it's true.
And I think a lot of us have gone through situations like this before. Like, even for as early as prep school, preschool, or primary school, whichever school you went to.
Yeah, get girl from preschool. I'm not flat, dog.
This virgin, man. You know, guys, it's a simplistic situation. Like, imagine you're in prep school and you like this girl, but this girl know that you have all the video games. So it's a girl like video games, and she know you like.
This is the greatest example ever. This is the example I always give. Shit, continue. Go ahead.
Yeah, well, you have all the video games, and she don't like you for you. She like you because you have video games.
Yeah,
you understand? And so you confess your love. I was like, oh, Susie, I love you, and I'll always be here for you. And then Susie's like, yay, you love me. I love me too. I
love me for the both of us.
and then she's like, oh, so you have that Pokemon Ruby?
You need, baby girl? Of course I have it.
Of course. Okay, you want to play my Game Boy? Alright, cool. Here's my Game Boy. And then she spends all the time playing with the Game Boy, and you're just there thinking, oh, this is so great. Susie's at my house playing video games. Woo! Well, that's all Susie wants, video games.
You know what's on my mind? I'm just thinking like, yo, this girl going to fuck up my saving or like, she's going to fuck up my, she's going to overwrite it and fuck up my game. Bumbuckler.
Which is, in reality, what usually happens, you know?
Yeah,
because you
without the metaphor.
Yeah, without the metaphor, you start allowing these persons to come into your life and manipulate things, and you start doing things to please them and not even realize that that's all they're there for.
Yeah. It's true. Yeah, it's funny. I remember, like, I had a good brethren back in the day in prep school, and everybody, like pretty much everybody at school know that you love off this girl, dog. So for her birthday, It's like a bag of mandate and one girl, and it was her. And when we were playing Smash, she, yeah man, she get the controller, dog. I was like, yo, make sure that you play, da, 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 da. She don't really know if to play still, but like, he's doing everything in his power to kill this girl. This isn't relevant to the question. I just realized that. Sorry, but like, it just reminded me of that.
Yeah.
And the thing is, but I think that girl was actually a nice girl. She wasn't like trying to manipulate the dude, which is good.
Well, you see, well, it's funny you said that because sometimes again, people start doing things not realizing that they're in the relationship for this thing. They don't even. Sometimes they don't even know that they're doing that.
You know, that's actually a good point.
Yeah, sometimes they
It's
don't
all
even know.
unconscious. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, because then the relationship comes with so much perks. It's like, why not?
Terrible.
Yeah. That's terrible, but it's the truth, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. I have to admit I've been guilty of that myself.
Yeah, because imagine, alright, look, another scenario. Imagine if the girl had a lot of trauma in her life and she's looking at escape.
And she get that love now.
And she get that love now. And, you know, it's not about being with me, it's just about finding an escape.
Yeah.
And she doesn't even realize that she's actually just looking for an escape. And I come now and be like, Susie, I'm in love with you. I'll do anything for you. And Susie's like, oh, love.
Anything you say.
Anything.
Not in that voice though.
Yeah,
that's creepy.
Like, anything? Okay. So can I stay with you tonight?
I'll just ask my mom. I'm sure she'll love it.
You know, and just to escape, you know, she just part with you. She hangs with you.
Yeah. Yeah, it's true. Fucking hell, dog. Good question. Good answer, dog. Yo, good job, dog. Good job. Alright, so we're going to get into the next question now. Alright, from Savannah. I have feelings for someone, but don't think they know it. I lose sleep, lose my appetite, and have trouble focusing on other things because I'm thinking about them every day. What should I do to fix this? Why is this happening?
Well, I'll say what I always say. People can't read your mind.
Yeah.
You might, you might do certain things to try and hint at it, but unless you really outrightly say how you feel directly to the person who you feel that way about, it's futile. And you'll never basically move out of that zone unless miraculously the person picks up on what is being said, or they are brave enough to see how they feel as well. But
or they get granted the gift of reading minds.
Exactly.
They become psychic.
But otherwise, from that, you have to state your desires. State how you feel. Speak to the person and be honest about it.
Yeah. Honestly, what I found weird about this question mark is just the whole, why is this happening? Like, why am I attracted to people? That's so weird. What's wrong with me? The fuck? I thought I cut this out to myself like, you know, when I was 4 or some shit. Like, no, dude, it's happening because you like the person and you're afraid that they don't like you back. Because if you weren't afraid that they didn't like you back, you wouldn't really be losing sleep. It's just the fear, right? So again, when you asked, what should I do to fix this? It's like, fix what? Like, what's wrong? You're just, nothing is wrong. There's nothing to fix. It's just that, yo, you feel how you feel and you're scared. It's not that anything is wrong. This is actually quite natural. You know what I mean? So I don't think anything was wrong, like you need to fix it. But like Mark said, you'd probably have to put yourself out there and reveal how you feel. Whether you're going to just do it like to their face and tell them, or write it somewhere, or have someone else say it, or something. It's like, you don't really have. Well, the other choice is like you just don't say anything and you become an insomniac, and you just get that really fucked up circadian rhythm or sleep pattern or some shit, which is not ideal, I would say. But I can tell you what I do. Usually, I just let it just build up to a point of just absolute, total discomfort, and then, oh yeah. So I'm just gonna just let you know that this is what's going on. It's the greatest relief, I'll admit. It's the greatest relief when you actually just say, yeah, this is how I feel. Because typically, you don't want the rejection, and that's again totally natural. But don't sell yourself short, dude. Because if they don't like you, I feel like a parent now, but honestly, it's kind of this is what every parent says. If they don't like you, then it's okay. There's other fish in the sea, as people say.
Yeah.
There's just other people, right? It's just like, think of it this way. It's just like you got said for like one of the first questions, right? Just flip it, right? So if someone has feelings for you and they can't sleep and they can't eat and they can't shit and they're talking to their friends on the phone all the time and they're crying on the phone, oh Mark, what am I gonna do? Like, this is not just even an example. What are you going to do, or what would you suggest that person should do? You'd suggest, just tell me how you feel. I may not feel the same, but I don't want you to suffer. Well, it's the exact same point here. Just go ahead and just say how you feel.
True.
Yep. I feel like I'm meditating. All right. What are some things that have made you lose faith in humanity? Well, I guess for me, just seeing how people are actually protesting the corona shit.
Wow. Yeah, so your answer is centered around the coronavirus as well.
Dude, trust me, it has revealed so much dumb shit.
So much stupid people, dog.
But the fact that people actually are screaming for their quote-unquote freedom.
I need to go do my hair, bruv. I miss my barber.
You come back with this shit. You come back with this shit. Whereas I'm growing so much fucking beard, I actually see brown hair in my beard.
Shit.
Like, fucking. But yeah, for me, I mean, I don't know. This is somewhat of a uniquely American thing, I feel. Even though, yeah, we have like the dumb shits in Jamaica.
Yeah, because remember, like a bunch of people got arrested last week because they're having a party. Yes.
Jesus.
They're having a party.
Was that a COVID party?
Almost. Yeah. Like, yo, they had bottles doing it, bro. They had bottles, bro.
Like Hennessy.
Yeah, man. In the middle of the street and down in the ghetto. I was like, the police. I'm like, yo, these people, like, they don't learn, bro.
So is it that they're trying to dare them to arrest them or something? Or they just want to get like...
I don't know, bro. I think some people just genuinely can't stay home. Just can't stay home.
You see, I will sympathize with that. Because I know, like, I have to go for a walk. I cannot stay inside my house because, like, the cabin fever sitting, the thoughts bouncing off the walls. I need to air out that shit, right? And a window ain't gonna do it, so I need to, like, take a step, right? But I'm not gonna buy Cavassier and invite, like, 50 of my closest friends, because I don't have 50 friends, and then fucking go out there daring the fucking police force to arrest me so I can then be in a piss-stained cell. What a point. Anyway, that's just me. What was your answer? Was it the same thing?
Well, it was going to be centered around the whole hospital situation with the pregnant girl.
Oh fuck. Oh shit.
Yeah, like, and that's what I might not talk about it a lot with other people because I tend not to dwell on the news.
Oh, sorry, not to cut you. Did you mute that?
I can do that now.
Okay. Sorry to cut you.
That's okay. No, man, it's still going to be there. So yeah, I tend not to dwell on the news I don't want to. I don't want to like dwell on all the negative things that have been happening. You get me? But
Naturally,
but that's just it just does. I think there is ruminating in my mind.
Yeah.
This is there. Like like imagine if I had a girlfriend who was pregnant now, or a wife was pregnant now, and I was like, okay, let me take her to the hospital, and just because she have labored breathing, or she coughed 2 times, they're like, oh yeah, the baby going to die, she have to die, and we're not taking her.
What? You know, it's funny that you said this because I actually did not really read in depth about what it was. Because I just see the headline and I'm like, nope. Nope. I don't
That's not
have...
exactly what happened, but like I'm just saying. And then this one never made the news, but a family, let's say a family friend, it's like her neighbor. She died because she had an asthma attack and went to the hospital in Linstead, and they didn't want to treat her because they thought it was COVID, and she died.
Yeah. That is literally like humanity bankrupt.
You know, because you look at that and you're like, yo, so you're so afraid of this. And I understand protocol, blah, 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 being a medical professional. You understand? I understand all the protocols. I understand that, yo, we don't have the facility to manage these things. But at least test, bruv. At least ask questions.
Welcome to the Hippocratic Oath. I don't understand. Like, how would you be able to do that?
And the lady died, bro. Just like the other one. And well, this one never made, as again, that one never made the news, but yeah, I'm sorry. And that's why you start wondering, do they really care?
I mean, you know, I don't know what to say. When I look at something like that, and then, like when I used to work in education and shit, it's a similar type of thing where you kind of look at a situation and you're like, I literally don't know what to do. Right? I don't have the resources in order to address this. I don't have the wherewithal in order to curb this issue. So for me, it's almost like pray. It's so I kind of get it, but at the same time, I'm like, yeah, dog. But I mean, shit, man. You know how the times then go. How you for really turn them back, or turn your back on them? I find that hard to believe. Can we find an example that's not COVID related though? Because honestly, this is like hurting my
it's
head.
still going to be humans, bro.
No, not yet. Of course.
Still going to be humans.
Yeah.
Still going to be humans because, like, there's a simple thing like people being honest.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, it's like it's very hard for some people to be honest and upfront, you know?
Even with, you know, again, lives on the line or integrity at stake, or just letting someone have the opportunity to kind of just take a breath and kind of just get perspective and see what the real deal is so they can deal with reality. No, I'd rather just lie because it preserves whatever.
I'm sorry for the pause, but I'm just thinking how sad certain things are. Because that's like somebody's sister, bro. Or somebody's aunt, somebody's cousin, somebody's friend, somebody's crush. You know what I mean?
You know what I regret? Ending on this question. It's too depressing, dog.
I'm sorry.
It's
I'm
way
sorry.
too depressing.
I'm sorry, but you know, but it is a depressing question, really, you know.
Yeah. I regret even pulling this up. Should I like started with this or been put in the middle or something? I'm sorry that this is how we have to do it. But
I'm sorry, guys.
if I can put in just my little thing now. Like honestly, I piggybacking on what you said, I feel like it's because we look at someone and we don't see our connection to them. That's why it's like, oh well, sorry. But if it was ever like your friend, your family member, or you, or someone that can help you, bet you say you wouldn't turn them away.
Nope. It wouldn't.
And that's scary. That's something that I definitely can see myself. I can see myself doing that. I probably have done it. I just can't think of an example right now. But yeah, where it's like, yo, honestly, maybe I don't have the resources to help you. Maybe I do, but because I'm not connected to you like that, I'm not gonna really help. And I guess there's also like the fear of. I don't know, being taken advantage of. That's another reason to lose faith in humanity, right there, where it's like you actually put yourself, you put yourself out of your own way, you fuck up yourself, you give yourself a handicap to help someone else, and you just take advantage of it.
Yeah. And then that's how trust deteriorates, and that's why in our society, we really don't know how to trust anyone. We can't trust people. Worse, I've just seen how people react to this COVID thing. You can really see that there are some very devious persons out there. People who don't really care about other persons, just themselves. You know you have the virus. You know you need to be quarantined. But you run away from the quarantine location to go have sex with your girlfriend. That's crazy.
I forgot all about that. I forgot all about that nigga.
That's crazy, bro.
I'm on the next one still. Yeah. I forgot all about that shit. Why did you bring it up, dog?
I'm sorry.
Yo. But you see, that's the thing. Like, is he any better than anybody who has for example, they were the people who like bought up like a ton of hand sanitizer and they were trying to sell it for like 300% the price. I'm like, dog, I get your business acumen, but where's the fucking humanity? But then again, dog, I can't even say shit to that because he's just doing this shit that corporations do. There's really no difference.
Probably expecting too much from people too. Probably.
What made people stay so though? I mean, I guess this is what I said earlier, where it's like, I'm not connected to you, so I'm connected to your money, but not necessarily connected to you. Maybe that's what, I don't know. Can you help me to end this on a positive note?
God is love.
God is love, guys. Thank you for listening to episode 2. Thanks, Sochi. Thank you for being here with us. Again, you can send in your questions to @AlchemistJoe and @KingPanda_876. That's IG, Twitter, I don't know, what else was? YouTube, TikTok, Vine, MySpace, High Five, all of them. That's the handle. MSN Messenger. I miss that shit. Actually, I don't, because that shit got annoying,
bro.
So yeah. Yo, thanks guys. We'll see you next week.